Here now to join us with an update on all these election irregularities across the country is Kayleigh McEnany. Okay, it's over a month now, and we're still finding votes, but only when needed, apparently. Just like, oh, we've found thousands in Georgia weeks after the election.
Yeah, that's right. In multiple locations, you can't make this up. And the vote separation in the case in the election you just mentioned is 12, and they find 12 ballots. So you have to ask questions here. It's quite peculiar. Every ballot should be counted and should be counted on Election Day, Sean. But I just want to underscore everything that you have just said, everything the Attorney General just said. That document that you have before you, that case, the Texas v. Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, this is the single most important document of the 2020 election. Everything you and I have discussed over the last few weeks, the case here in Pennsylvania, the case here in Wisconsin, this is all combined in a succinct, very well-sourced, footnoted document where you have Supreme Court barred attorneys going before the Supreme Court saying, these are the facts. These are the truths. We've separated fact from fiction, and here it is. I would encourage everyone to read this document. It is big.
And I pointed out how strong I thought the Pennsylvania case was, because the state legislator literally bypassed their own state constitution that had very specific language in it as it relates to mail-in ballots and the limits they put on it. And the court just said, no, they're not taking it. So the fact that this was taken up tells us what?
The fact that this is taken up tells us that the Supreme Court could be taking a very hard look at this. And, you know, as this case says, either the Constitution matters or it's just a piece of parchment in the National Archives. One thing, though, Sean, that's really interesting in this case, and I would encourage everyone to read this paragraph, is we know that there is a mass influx of mail-in ballots. So in Georgia, for instance, 94% increase of mail-in ballots. You would expect the rejection rate to be higher this time around than 2016. With all these new voters. But instead of being higher, it was 17 times lower. And the statistical analysis done here in this case by an expert shows if you had the same rejection rate as in 2016 in Georgia, we'd expect it to be higher. But if you just had the same, that would be a net gain of 25,587 votes for President Trump, more than double the margin he would need in Georgia. This is a concise history of how Democrats changed the laws, eliminated the safeguards, mass mailed out ballots to change the electoral system in a massive national experiment.
I had no idea Biden was that popular. I'm having a hard time getting over that he got 15 million votes more than Barack Obama. I don't know. I'm kind of suspicious. I'm suspicious he got 15 million more votes than Hillary, too. I don't know. He couldn't get 1,000 people for his virtual Thanksgiving message to sign up. Nobody on the campaign trail would go to any event that he did. Then, of course, in every major city except for Atlanta, Milwaukee, Detroit, Philadelphia, and out in Nevada, it seems that Joe Biden underperformed with minority voters, but overperformed in these very, well, how conveniently happening cities I mentioned.
That's right. You're pointing out the anomalies that happened in this election, because this was a never-before-tried type of election with the mail-in voting. And what this lawsuit does, it looks at those anomalies, and here's what it finds. It finds that the chances of Biden coming from as far behind as he was at 3 a.m. on election night, the chances of that are 1 in 1 quadrillion. The chances of him, that's prevailing in one state, prevailing in all 4 of the states where he was so far behind, the chances of that are 1 in a quadrillion to the 4th power. This is all outlined right here in this lawsuit, everything we've discussed in a source document by attorneys before the United States Supreme Court.
And people want to know what a quadrillion is. Just, God forbid, it's Biden, AOC, Bolshevik Bernie, Kamala. You'll learn a lot more about the word quadrillion in debt by the time they're done with their giveaways, free everything. Well, we're going to watch this really closely. You're right. You know, what we both obviously have a copy of right here, put it in front of the camera, in front of us, is pivotal. This is now a key moment and a key time.